Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, or if you're watching this on BitChute, Comic Freak. Today we're going to be reviewing No One Left to Fight, Issue 2. We'll start off with the cover, done by Fico Ocio. The cover is good. The only problem really with it is that it maybe doesn't show really enough action, just as a generic anime character standing looking tough with a bunch of smiling little monsters in the background. I think, they're the kids. Other problems with this is maybe it's colored wrong because it looks like it's just all blurry together. The girl looks like she the main anime character on the cover looks like she could be colored in a way that would make her stand out more. Otherwise, it's a good color. It's drawn well. We begin with the first page, or at least the page I'm starting out on, where Timur's wife says, "Timur, Vale, stop this," as both of them are fighting each other. Vale, of course, was beginning to hallucinate in the last issue as he saw Vale starting to power up, as he basically had PTSD flashbacks to when he killed the big bad villain that he's famous for killing and becoming the great hero of the land. The artwork here by Fico Ocia is good. The writer, Avery Citizen, his last issue was good. It wasn't a great issue. We'll see what he does with this issue. Timur looks rather embarrassed as his wife calls him out as she stops the fight. But Vale looks like he's far more together than he was in the last issue where he was hallucinating, as I said. They apologize and they stop the fight. The next day, Vale is up for a surprise. Apparently a bunch of people are there to greet him because they've heard the great hero is there. Timur's wife says they're here to see you, and he asks, "Did you invite them?" And she says no. The people just came here to see their hero. And Vale is suitably surprised and this puts him off because he's a bit scared apparently. Because there's so many, he says. Yeah, there are, aren't they? Timur's wife says. I really should learn her name. But right now, Vale is the main character. And the artwork here is good. I really like it. It looks suitably like Street Fighter. Not like Dragon Ball Z, but does look like the Street Fighter artist. Or it looks like Avatar: The Last Airbender. And we see Vale in a halo of light, almost like he's Jesus Christ, as he's greeted by the townspeople who are saying Vale and thank you, and saying he's so powerful, he's so strong. Vale looks confused, and frankly, he reminds me of Bear of the Forever People. You know, the Jack Kirby's Fourth World characters. He really reminds me of him, except he doesn't seem that much smarter than Bear. But his suitably kind of almost drunken-looking expression on his face is kind of funny, as he doesn't know how to deal with all these people giving him all this attention. In his opinion, all he did was defeat a big bad guy. He was just doing his job and saving their lives. They don't need to worship him like he's God. And this is funny. This scene angers Timur so much because he has a permanent case of jealousy because everyone else in their town pays more attention to Vale than to him, even though he is just one of the heroes who helped defeat the main bad guy, not the big hero himself that is Vale. Vale is the one who actually did the deed, but he did help out and helped defeat the bad guy, but he feels like he's underappreciated. He's appreciated by his family and his friends, but he doesn't think anyone else really cares about him or gives him much thought beyond being that guy who lives down the street and is constantly angry. Here we see Timur getting his car ready, a flying car, while the crab guy, who's dressed like he's from the 90s and looks like a rapper, is loading up all their luggage. Let's see. Timur says goodbye to his children, and they say to him, "Thank you for saving the city, Daddy. We knew you were going to beat Uncle Vale." And this makes Timur smile. This is what he really wants, the love of his children. Unlike in the last issue where they were just fawning over Vale. They truly love their father, and he looks like a great guy when he's being kind to his kids. You look at that smile, huh? And the artwork here is good. And the writing is good. I'm enjoying Timur's interaction with his children. Otherwise, his character comes off as a bit flat and obnoxious. And Vale comes off as well, if he's not acting like he has PTSD, he's going around in a daze. I like to see much better characterization than this. But this comic does have its merits. Now, Timur and Vale, along with Timur's wife, get into their car and they speed off. But unbeknownst to them, a villain is tracking them. He's in his own sky cycle, just over and behind them. He's following close, but far enough away that they don't see him. Even though if anyone looked behind him, they'd see him because there's lightning, and for some odd reason, the lightning is just behind him. So I think you just look at it, hey, lightning, and they'd see this guy and say, okay, that's a bad guy. Let's attack him and take him out now because he's just going to come and get us. And the artwork here, or rather the coloring here, is much better because this villain is far better colored and he stands out from the background, unlike everyone else who seems to be almost like they're all part of one giant picture. That's not how you color a comic book or do anything. You want your characters to stand out and be able to be noticed almost instantly. This is one of the few bad things about this comic. When Vale and the others get to their orphanage, they are greeted by their old friend, a girl they used to know, who's basically your typical, kid sidekick character, only female. And she basically hugs Vale and Timur, saying that she's missed them, and she's particularly happy to see Vale, because apparently she's in love with him. And apparently she also has a rivalry with Timur's wife. And I have to say she's well drawn, and they're all well drawn, but the coloring is kind of bad. The coloring is good, but as I said, they don't stand out enough. Yeah, if that the backgrounds are too bright and they make the characters look washed out. The coloring itself is all in pastels, and in its own way, it's good. Now, as the day goes by, Vale befriends the kids at the orphanage. Timur has problems with the orphanage's owner, who used to train him and Vale before Timur went off to train under this mystic. She says the mystic's train didn't do anything for Timur, and he still couldn't beat Vale when he tried to beat him when they were kids. This just makes Timur angry. The stress is making Vale have more PTSD flashbacks, as well as hallucinations this time. He hallucinates that he's basically married to the girl who runs the orphanage and takes care of the owner and the kids, the one who really likes him. He also has other hallucinations, as well as stress, and he tells everyone to cut it out, and he screams. He then goes to bed. And this is where the issue ends, with the girl coming in to see him, the one who really likes him, saying that, I could do so much for you if you would let me. She's basically saying she wants to be his girlfriend. And this is where the issue ends, on this cliffhanger. It's not bad, but it could have been better. Now, if you like this review, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you have not subscribed, please subscribe to me on YouTube at Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Then go over to BitChute and my BitChute channel, Comic Freaks, subscribe there as well. Also, hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And could you please share this video on social media? YouTube refuses to share the videos of their own creators anymore, and it would really help me if you could share this on Facebook and Twitter. Also, keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.